Welcome to the Flaps Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the very first Flaps Podcast. I'm Elliot.
And I'm Mark. We're a new podcast aimed at the casual pilot. And believe me, there's none more casual than us.
Hopefully, whether you fly small planes, large planes, get flown around by someone else, or just look up to the sky with a notebook in your hand, you're going to enjoy the next 30 minutes.
Now, ready for departure in this first edition?
No, hang on.
What?
I thought we agreed we weren't going to do any sort of rubbish flying puns.
Okay, fair enough. Coming up in this first edition...
That's better.
Thank you. The only man to have flown through an ash cloud and lived to tell the tale.
We adopt a wannabe pilot,
Gulf War hero, footballer's friend, and owner of the best moustache in aviation, Pablo Mason talks common sense.
and we ask if a Cold War nuclear bomber is louder than an African vuvuzela.
And I'm Lembit Opik, and I'll be telling you about my rather cheeky prop strike.
Welcome to the first Flaps Podcast.
Now, buckle up.
No.
So, first on Flaps.
Celebrity pilot.
He's the former Member of Parliament for Montgomeryshire, former leader of the Welsh Liberal Democrats, and former cheeky girl lover. But on the positive side, he's a PPL holder, which is what we're interested in. It's a big Flaps welcome to Lembit Opik on the phone. Hello, Lembit.
Hello, and thank you for that cheeky and completely disrespectful introduction. But I forgive you because you're fellow pilot.
Well, you see, you can get away with anything when you're a flyer. You see, this is true. It's like a brotherhood.
It's a secret society. Yeah.
You were an MP for 13 years. How are you finding life now? And presumably you're finding more time to go flying.
Well, you've actually interrupted my watching of daytime television, so we'll have to make it quick.
I'm really sorry.
Jeremy Kyle will beg you to watch.
Yeah.
I'll just have to put him on hold. I'm hoping to get invited onto it, actually.
Well, I'm going to say that's when you know things are really going badly, when you're on Jeremy Kyle's show and you're not Jeremy Kyle.
I've been flying a little bit, but to compound the offence, not only have I lost my job, but I haven't seen my beloved Mooney for 8 months because I had a prop strike in December.
Oh, no.
What a nightmare. So guess how much it's cost
I
so
dread to think, Lembit, go on.
2 centimetre gash in the prop so far cost not 5,000, not 8,000, but 43,000.
Oh, my God.
And do you not get a discount for being unemployed, Lembit?
Yeah, that's right. I can claim all this back on benefits.
Well, actually, do you know, if you were an MP, you could have tried to claim it through on your expenses.
You know what? It's just hopeless. Even now, I'm being hounded beyond the political grave by your impertinence.
It's a weird thing that you ever started flying, because I mean your first sort of venture into the air was paragliding in '98, and that was a bit of a disaster. Tell us what happened.
They always used to tell me in politics they wanted me to take a running jump off a hill, so I found a sport where I could do it. Unfortunately for me, I had a pretty much almost 100% failure at about 30 metres. Couldn't have been completely felled because I'd have died, but I hit the ground very hard and broke my back in 12 places. But I'm very lucky to be walking and lucky to be able to have enough health to pass the medical every couple of years.
I was going to say, does this affect your medicals at all?
Well, it's more of an essay than a medical when I put all this down. But they say, have you had any injury accidents? I'd say, well, yes, a couple of chapters worth. But I keep an eye on it. I'm very careful with my back now, and I'm just really grateful that I didn't come off worse.
Absolutely. So you've had your licence, you said, for half your life. I mean, have you got ratings? You got the night rating, the instruments, all that kind of thing?
At one time or another, I've had the following ratings: basic glider rating, SMLG, so that's self-launching motor glider rating, the club pilot at paraglider level rating. I've had an instrument meteorological conditions rating, night rating. I've got a twin rating, and a complex single rating, of course. And I started on an instrument rating as well, but I haven't completed that. So pretty enthusiastic about flying, I think you could say.
Will you stand again for Parliament, Lembit?
I might do. It's a bit early to say. I've started getting involved in politics again a little bit round in London, and I'm thinking of standing for Mayor of London, actually. Also, there are many other seats where I would be probably quite popular for some of the things that Montgomeryshire folk may have not been very keen on. Lots of urban areas are quite attracted to my celebrity status. And also, I do work quite hard, so there is a good chance that I'll stand again, not least because I think aviation needs a strong voice in Parliament.
I was just going to say that, because I mean there are a lot of issues politically with flying and access to airspace and all the kind of European rules and the EASA stuff that's possibly going on. I mean, you know, do you think that you would be the man to champion the GA pilots?
I think I was. always pride myself on actually standing up and saying, in fact, if there is an acceptable use of fossil fuels, it's aviation. It redistributes wealth from the richest parts of the world to the poorer parts through trade and also heavily through tourism. It's a very fast way for a small number of people who make huge contributions to the economy to get around. Aviation is incredibly important, and especially to an island country like Britain.
What would you say is scarier? Learning to fly a plane, like cast your mind back to your first solo, or your new career of stand-up comedian?
The new career as a stand-up comedian is much more frightening than the solo, because when you land on your first solo, people applaud, but you don't expect them to laugh at you. In this case, I have to get them to do both. It's really strange, because for the last 13 years, I've wanted people to take me seriously and been laughing away, and now I want them to laugh at me, and they nod as if I've made some sort of an obituary speech for my own career.
Do you do any flying or aviation gags in any of your sets, Lembit?
When I speak to aviators, yes. I think it's true to say that you, I, and the listeners are fairly anoraki. I remember I was being shown round by Ian Gray, the former Airbus chief executive, up in where they build the wings in North Wales. I was getting more and more excited. We'd probably been going round for about 3 hours, and I was beginning to ask ridiculous questions like, so what's this? Oh, this is the undercarriage actuator unit. And I eventually said to him, I'll never forget this, I said, so what's its peak wattage at the point of retracting the undercarriage? And he looked at me, this is the chief executive of Airbus, and went, Lembit, you really need to get out more. What he should have said, actually, is, in fact, it's not electrical, it's hydraulic, and the peak PSI is 3,500.
Oh, all right, Lembit, no, Lembit.
You want to get out more, Lembit?
Yeah, you've lost us now. You've lost the room.
Well, if you want some gags to work into your routine, and we've got a few flying gags here for you.
Go on, then.
There are 100 people in a room. How do you know which one's the pilot?
Go on.
He'll tell you.
What's the purpose of the propeller?
Go on.
It keeps the pilot cool. Just stop it and watch him sweat.
Oh, very good.
And what's the difference, Lembit, between a duck and a co-pilot?
You can't claim the co-pilot on expenses.
It's quite good, but it's actually a duck can fly.
Very good.
You can have those. You can have those.
Next time I'm addressing the British Business and General Aviation Association, I'll have them rolling in the aisles. I shall name check you as well for those. I think tonight I'm going to be doing a set, and I was going to use two political jokes, actually. One is, did you hear about the anarchist who got killed in a condemned toilet?
No.
He was crushed by the cistern. The other one is, you like that one, isn't it?
I like that.
The other one is, why do anarchists never drink Earl Grey tea?
I don't know.
Because proper tea is theft.
Hey! Brilliant.
Just out of interest, before we go, where do you fly from?
Welshpool International Airport.
That's a joke.
It's a lovely little place. That's where the Mooney is based when it's working. And I often fly to Leicester because that's where I learned. But one warning, it is a 1,500-foot circuit. If you go around at 1,000 feet, you won't land, you'll crash, because there are big hills on both sides.
Well, Lembit, it's been a pleasure to speak to you.
And to you, my friends.
You're a gentleman and an anorak, which is a good combination.
Mayday, mayday.
and hopefully one day Mayor of London, you can then probably get some real special VFR.
That would be fantastic.
You can arrange for GA to all just go trawling through the airspace.
Oh, yeah, no problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm working on it. I'm not going to make any commitments I can't keep.
GA landing at Heathrow for £15. We'll have some of that, please.
All you need is an engine failure for that, mate.
Thank you, Lembit. It's been a pleasure.
Anytime.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. What am I doing on Mayday? Damn, where's my diary?